You're listening to the Sisters in Loss podcast, a faith-based grief and loss podcast for Black women, where you will hear stories of miscarriage, infant loss, stillbirth, and infertility to learn there is a testimony in tragedy. You will learn how to heal, gain clarity, find hope and peace, and turn your pain into your purpose after loss. I'm your host, Erica M. McAfee. Welcome to episode 51 of the Sisters in Loss podcast. In today's episode, we catch up with episode 15 guest Dareshia Ervin, also known as D, who experienced 5 miscarriages and lost both her fallopian tubes, leaving her completely infertile. Back in episode 15, she shared how she planned to go through IVF, and in today's episode, she shares how God fulfilled his promises to her. Dee is currently 29 weeks pregnant as this episode airs with her rainbow baby girl named Zuri. She shares her IVF experience, how it went from the daily shots to being declared a normal pregnancy. Dee also shares how she plans to celebrate Zuri and how she is preparing for birth and motherhood. Today's episode is for you if you are diagnosed infertile and are on the fence about going through IVF or infertility treatments. Dee's story will inspire you on how God will fulfill the promises of your heart if you believe and have faith that it will come to pass. Here is Dareshia Ervin, also known as Dee. Dee, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So, Dee was featured in episode 15 of the podcast. So if you would go back to episode 15, you can hear more about her loss story due to ectopic pregnancy, and she lost her fallopian tubes. But now she is pregnant, and I want her to talk to us about her journey with IVF. So Dee, take us through the journey thus far.
Okay, sure. So I'll tell you. I was on birth control, which seemed like forever. I thought it would be as simple as, retrieving the egg, putting it together with the sperm, putting it back in, boom, bam, pregnant, done. No, ma'am. It's a whole other process. You have to have certain levels have to be at a certain count, and it's just a lot that goes into it. So from the beginning, I had to take the birth control, and then I had a small thyroid issue, which they said in normal pregnancy, it wouldn't be an issue at all. But considering this was IVF, they wanted my thyroid levels at a certain level. Then apparently I had a small prolactin issue as well. So I had to be on medication to get those 2 levels in order before I could even start the IVF process, which once we got down to before the egg retrieval, you have to do the shots. And let me tell you, it was something. The shots I had to do in my stomach, and some other areas.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, no.
That were not fun.
Wow.
I did the shots for, I want to say 8 days. And then it was funny because I did that, and you have to go in every day because they have to monitor you and see how your follicles are growing. And so my doctor was very impressed by how mine were growing. And she said, "How old are you?" I said, 29. She said, "Your ovaries are acting 29. I'm telling you, I felt so full, so heavy, so stuffed. And so then we did the trigger shot, and I go in for my retrieval, and they were able to retrieve 39 eggs.
Wow, 39.
That was blown away.
Crazy.
I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm thinking, I'm praying, saying, God, at least if I get 10, 12, I think that it'll be good. That'll be a good number for me. They retrieved 39 eggs. And so she even was talking to me about considering being an egg donor, but I'm like, I don't know if I can do that again. I don't know about them shots. So from there, I think I have to wait because my doctor, they want to see the uterus go up and down. So I had to wait 2 cycles in order to actually do the transfer, which I did my transfer in, retrieval was October. I'm sorry. All of this is just like, I can barely remember. My retrieval October. and December 19th is when I did my transfer. And so once I did my transfer, December 19th, let me tell you that process as well. You start the progesterone shots, which you have to do, I won't say in the butt. It's kind of like on the side-ish looking kind of in the butt a little bit. And that needle is huge and painful.
So did you give your own progesterone shots, or did your husband give them to you?
Well, my husband did them, I think probably the first 2 times maybe, because I was too scared to do it myself. But I think one day I ended up having to do it myself, and then I was like, oh, I can do this, it's not that bad. But over time, it's like you just get sore, and I think I'm some kind of way I'm flexible on one side and not so much on the other side. And I was making myself bleed, and you have to do this every single day. Wow. Every day. Cannot miss a day. And I think I did this for 3 months, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so when I went in for my retrieval, they give you a whole bottle of water that you have to drink there. So, because your bladder has to be full. Like, I'm telling you, when I say full, I mean full, like to the point where it's going to literally burst. And I can remember saying, please, can I just let out a little bit? And they said, no, this is where we want it. We want it to be just like that. So imagine having a very extremely full bladder and having to have your legs propped up. Oh, my God. I was like, I remember just trying to think in my head, like,
don't pee.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Like, don't think about it. So then they're there, and I'm telling you, the procedure itself doesn't hurt at all. I was not sedated or anything. The procedure, the transfer doesn't hurt, and it doesn't take very long. It's fast. And so after that, they have me lie in a room in the dark and kind of just relax and meditate. But how can you relax when you have to go to the restroom so bad? And I tried, and I lay there, and I tried, and I got so embarrassed because I had ring for the nurse. I was like, I'm sorry, I have to use the restroom. I was like, I can't hold it anymore. But at that point, you kind of don't want to. Like, I don't want to pee my babies out. Like, but I couldn't take it no more. So after that, I was kind of put on a light bed rest for like 3 days. Well, the first 2 days, they didn't want me to do anything. They said, literally, don't get up. Only get up if you have to use the restroom. And if you want to eat, just prop up. Don't do anything. So I was kind of on a light bed rest for a few days. Then I got the courage to take a pregnancy test on Christmas, and I was so nervous. I was shaking. I was like, oh my God. I knew it was early. It wasn't too early, but it was early. I mean, it could go either way. So I was like, oh my God. And so I take the test, and I just leave it, and I just run out the bathroom. I'm like, I don't even want to see it. And I go back, and to my surprise, it's positive. So Christmas Day last year, I got my positive pregnancy test.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm going to be 7 months this week.
So when is your due date? Officially?
September 5th.
September 5th. Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
So were you and your husband agreed to only transfer one embryo versus like doing multiples?
Yes. I won't say I had to talk him into it, but, I think he had the same feeling that everyone else had. Everybody was kind of like, we're self-paying. So everyone's like, oh my God, this is your one shot. We retrieved 39 eggs, but 7 were fertilized. And then we did the PGS testing, so 5 came back normal. So we have 5 embryos on ice. And so he kind of was like, well, just go ahead and do 2. And I'm like, no, I didn't want to put that much on my body, considering, my history and everything. And I'm like, twins are cute, but they cost money and time and patience. And I just don't think I was ready for 2 babies at one time. Like, no. And my doctor tries to encourage one at a time, depending on your situation. So by me being so young and, have retrieved so many eggs and having so many embryos on ice, they preferred that I just did one. And I kind of preferred that too.
Awesome. So tell us about how your pregnancy's been thus far.
So far, it's been really good. I heard all the horror stories of morning sickness, and, I had a little bit of nausea, but not really sickness in the beginning. So first trimester, just nausea, tired, hungry. And then second trimester, it's been good. I don't have anything. Everything I've been experiencing from what I've heard is normal.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to my appointments, they ask me, have any questions? I'm like, nope. I said, okay. My first appointment, actually, that was not with my fertility doctor, but my OBGYN. It was 9 weeks, I believe, and he did a sonogram. We saw the baby, and he said, at this point, you're just considered a normal boarding pregnancy. Sorry. So, because I was worried at first, because they weren't really monitoring me. I was like, oh my God, I did IVF. I need to be monitored. But IVF was just the process that helped me get pregnant. Now I'm just a normal born pregnant woman.
Awesome. So, and that's so exciting. So, are you all planning to have a shower, or are y'all making preparations for your baby girl? Because you did find out you were having a baby girl, right? Beforehand, or did you find out through ultrasound when you did your testing?
Well, actually, since we did the PGS testing, they already knew what the sex was that they put in. So I had to go up there for to drop off some meds, and so I just asked them to put the sex in the envelope.
Oh, okay. So you knew way from the beginning what you were having, but you just waited until you revealed it?
No, I didn't know. I told them I didn't want to pick the sex. I just said to just put in the best embryo. And so they put in the best one. And when I went back up there, I asked, because they knew what they put in. So I just asked for them to put the sex in an envelope for me. Because I think we wanted to do a gender reveal. Mm-hmm. So we had our gender reveal like that Saturday. And then my 5-month appointment where I would have found out the sex was like that Wednesday.
Awesome. How sweet is that? That is yes. Awesome. Yeah, because most people, they'll pick which one they want, but you were just like, whatever you all feel is the best embryo that's going to last.
Yes, I said, you know what? My husband wanted a son, of course, but I said, God will give us whatever we need. I'm like, we're just going to leave it in his hands. Just pick the best embryo. If it's a girl, it's a boy. Doesn't matter to me. I'll be happy. It's like, after all I've been through, really don't. Sex is the last thing that's important to me. So
right,
we just let the universe decide, what I like to say.
Yes, ma'am. So for those women who are out there who may have to go through IVF, what tools or tricks or resources can you give them that can help make the process a little bit more, just less strenuous, less painful? Or I guess another question or way to put it would be, what would you wish you have known about IVF before you went through it?
Well, I wish I would have known that the process wasn't as simple as it sounds, and everybody is different. Every protocol is different for every woman, depending on her history, depending on her current situation. It's always going to be different. So, because, I try to plan. I say, after I had a Vegas trip planned. After I get to Vegas, I'm going to go to my doctor, tell him I'm ready, and I'm going to be pregnant within the next 3 months or whatever the case is. But no, it's a process, and you just kind of got to trust the process and trust your doctors if they know what they're doing. At the end of the day, it's not guaranteed. So at first that was the hardest part for me because, I was like, what if this doesn't work? I felt like we only had one shot. I'm like, what if this doesn't work? But then, I had to really just get that out of my head and say, well, what if it does? I mean, I think it's important to just be positive. And I know that it gets difficult. I know you'll have roadblocks and you'll have times where you have to wait, but it'll all be worth it at the end. And just have patience, have faith, stay positive. That's really the best advice I can give. Once I had my transfer and it was done, it was like, at this point, there's absolutely nothing that I can do. I have no control at this point to make sure that this baby sticks and grows for the next 9 months. So the only thing I'm going to do, relax, pray, meditate, and think positive thoughts. And that's all I did. People ask me, oh, did you do acupuncture? Did you eat pineapples? Did you do all the stuff? And I said I would. I I was like, I'm going to eat pineapples. I'm going to do acupuncture. I'm going to do whatever else they test on your head upside down, whatever it takes. That's what I'm going to do to make sure that this works. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do nothing. Because at this point, it's beyond my control. It's all in God's hands, and that's what I did. Just left it there.
Mm-hmm. Man, oh man, that's awesome. So where can we find you and follow you on this journey so we can meet your baby girl in a few months?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram. I'm more active there at Loving Angel Babies. Also, you can go to my website, lovingab.com. There's a blog there. And you can follow me on Facebook if you like, on my personal page. I update there. Pretty sure I'll be posting a lot of cute pictures there at just Dareshia Ervin.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dee, for coming back on and sharing an update of your journey and your baby girl with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
The Sisters in Loss community is holding a baby shower on Saturday, July 14, 2018 in Virginia. We are celebrating the expectant rainbow babies of our sisters in loss by gifting them new and gently used baby products. We are talking about the works from diapers to strollers. If you know another angel mom who is currently pregnant with their rainbow baby, please go to babyshower.sistersinloss.com to register to receive gifts. If you would like to donate to the community baby shower, go to babyshower.sistersinloss.com for more information. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I pray that this show was inspirational and a blessing to you. For show notes, visit ericamcafee.com/podcast. Please join us in our offline discussions in our private Facebook group by going to sistersinloss.com. If you're listening in Apple Podcasts, please rate and subscribe to us and leave us a 5-star review. I pray that you all have a blessed week. Keep the faith, and I'll talk to you next Wednesday.